Imagine an empire so vast it stretched from the foggy hills of Britain to the sun-scorched deserts of Egypt. A civilization that gave us aqueducts, roads, and the blueprint for modern law. And then, it was gone. So, why did the Roman Empire really fall? Was it barbarian invasions, economic collapse, or something weirder? Let's dive into the greatest historical breakup of all time. First, let's set the stage. At its height in the 2nd century, Rome was the ultimate superpower. It had 1 million people in its capital, a GDP bigger than most modern nations, and an army that could make anyone think twice about rebellion. But by 476 CE, the Western Roman Empire was history. So, what went wrong? It's not just one thing, it's a perfect storm of chaos. Let's start with money, because Rome had a serious spending problem. Think of the empire like a family with a fancy mansion, but a maxed out credit card. They were spending big on lavish palaces, free bread for citizens, and a massive army to keep the borders safe. But here's the catch. Their income taxes wasn't keeping up. Why? Well, Rome's economy relied heavily on conquest. New territories brought gold, slaves, and taxes, but by the 3rd century, Rome was running out of places to conquer. It's like a shark that stops swimming. It starts to sink. To make matters worse, they debased their currency. Imagine if your dollar bill was suddenly worth only 50 cents. Prices skyrocketed, and trust in money plummeted. Hyperinflation hit, and people started bartering chickens for sandals. But it wasn't just money. Rome's political system was a hot mess. Imagine a game of musical chairs, but the chairs are thrones and the players are power-hungry generals. In the 3rd century alone, Rome had over 20 emperors in 50 years, some lasting just a few months. This chaos came from a system where loyalty was to generals, not the state. A successful commander could march his army to Rome, declare himself emperor, and, well, hope he didn't get stabbed by the next guy. This constant turnover meant no one could focus on fixing the empire's problems. It's like trying to repair a sinking ship while the crew keeps mutinying. Now, let's talk about the barbarians. You've probably heard of the Visigoths and Vandals, tribes that swept in like uninvited party crashers, but here's the twist. They weren't the cause of Rome's fall, they were a symptom. Rome's borders were stretched thin, guarding a 5,000-mile frontier with fewer soldiers than needed. Why? Because economic troubles meant less money for the army. Meanwhile, climate change, yes, even back then, pushed tribes like the Huns westward, who then pushed other groups into Roman territory. It's like a domino effect of migration. By 410 CE, the Visigoths sacked Rome itself. The Eternal City wasn't so eternal anymore. But the real kicker? Rome was rotting from the inside. Corruption was rampant. Officials took bribes and tax collectors pocketed more than they sent to Rome. Plus, the empire's reliance on slave labor meant fewer jobs for free citizens, creating a restless underclass. And then there's culture. As Rome grew, it struggled to unite its diverse peoples. Christianity's rise challenged traditional Roman values, and while it brought some unity, it also sparked conflicts. The empire was like a puzzle with pieces that no longer fit together. So, why did Rome fall? It wasn't just one fatal blow, it was death by 1,000 cuts. Economic collapse starved the system, political chaos paralyzed leadership, barbarian invasions exploited weaknesses, and internal decay eroded the foundation. Each problem fed into the others like a feedback loop of doom. But here's the fascinating part. Rome's fall teaches us something timeless. Empires like ecosystems thrive on balance. When resources, trust, or unity run dry, even the mightiest can crumble. Could this happen to us today? That's a question worth pondering. The Roman Empire didn't just vanish, it transformed. Its legacy lives in our laws, languages, and cities, but its fall reminds us that nothing lasts forever unless we learn from the past. So, what do you think caused Rome's collapse? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this dive into history, hit that subscribe button for more.